welcome to ATB-TV for this week's edition. As you can see, Darren Dance has disappeared, but I've got an expert commentator in for the week, Pete Ellis. Welcome, Pete.
Hello, Pete. How are you? Was Darren at Coffs Harbour, is he?
Oh, he's holidaying somewhere. Yeah, he thinks he's up there working, buying a few horses or selling a few, but yeah. Pete, for the those that don't know, has done a lot of work with Darren Weir over the journey. Pete, basically, you obviously do all the form of the races, but a big part of it is walking the tracks and trying to help out where the best advantage for each horse is.
Yeah, general tactics, Pete. Yeah. Trying to work out where the best and the worst parts are. You have to win the race, and that involves just knowing your stability, how they're going at the time, and just knowing your patterns and trends, which I've developed over the last 40 years. So
and we're here now, and I just spoke to you. You can walk the tracks up to 5 or 6 or 7 times a day, just as the patterns evolve.
Yeah, well, the synthetics, Pakenham and Geelong the other day. Geelong early doors, you could be 3 or 4 wide. Last day race, you have to be hard on the fence. So you can't make a decision on how the track will race too early. Today here at Pakenham, early doors, there's a fair bit of kickback. It was hard to make ground, but a couple of horses since have sort of got home in the last couple of hundred.
We had Safety Dance a little earlier, which he jumped well enough to lead. There's a bit of pressure wide, and unfortunately Regan then got into a bit of trouble, threw back on the fence, and it was hard from where he was to get any momentum and then get into the race.
Getting back and drawing in at Pakenham on synthetic at the present, probably where you don't want to be. 3 back defences, the actual worst part.
All right, we'll quickly go back through our runners from last week. I was at Hamilton Ballarat, where Captain Harry ran second. Good honest run. I'm not sure if you've seen the race, Pete, but he's a horse that's won his maiden in a Class 1 and ran into the good wet tracker of Johnny McArdle's Picard Prince.
Yeah, it seems to be a horse heading in the right direction, so good solid performance.
It was. On the Friday we had Revolutionary, and obviously we've thrown Saab a real tough task here to get this bloke back into any sort of form, but he ran okay. As we're trying to work out to a 2,000 metre race with him.
Yeah, well, he raced on the speed and just got a bit tired at the end, but I think give her a couple of runs with Saab and she'll certainly improve.
Yeah.
You can't turn them round overnight, that's for sure.
That's all right. You were at Cranbourne, and Tennessee Gold, who's a 58 rater, well, might have to be a 52 by rating.
51 or 52.
And ran a terrific race in the Fillies and Mares, 78.
Yeah, she's just knocking on the door. That was an ideal race given it was close to home. It was a heavy track, which Sean thinks she handles. She drew the outside, so I had to go back, ride for luck. Got beaten 2 lengths in a 78, so it was a really good performance. Based on that, she can replicate that on a heavy track. She'll win a 58 for sure.
There's a 58 at Wangaratta on Monday over 2,000. So
if she's in there, she'll be really hard to beat. She's certainly ready to win, and mentally she's good, and I think the key is she's good in the ground too.
Terrific. Saturday I was at Sandown. We had Falago ridden positive by Luke Nolan. We've actually got a couple of races in mind at Flemington during June, so this was a really good hit out and showed that he's in good nick.
It was encouraging because, as you know, he's had his ups and downs, but he's heading in the right direction again. Gets out to 2,500 at Flemington, be hard to beat.
He finished third, beat 2 or 3 lengths, and the horse that won it. Is it O'Brien's? I can't think of it now. It's a progressive horse.
Lycurgus.
That's the one, yeah. Mr. Moneybags, he ran in the final race and ran 4th. We got a little bit further out of the ground than we would have liked.
Yeah, ideally, I would have liked to see him in the box seat, say 4th, 5th. Winner's very smart, horse of Wallers, and as it's got form in sort of listed races, so I think he's ready to win. Probably certainly over a mile, get him into a box seat position, and be the next start of the start after he should be getting the first prize.
Robbie's looking at the Silver Bowl series, which is
they're always good races, good prize money races.
1,400 would lead into a 1,600 metre final. He looks that type of horse.
He'd be pretty competitive, one of those. Good thing about him, he can, if necessary, he can sit outside the lead, take a sit, or as he proved the other day, he can make ground.
He's racing patterns, that's the way he races. Whitemore, you did see that run at Geelong on Sunday?
Yeah, it was at Geelong. He drew wide and got stuck wide, and the inside of the track was the place to be at that time of the day, so I think the run was extremely good. I'd say when he gets out to a mile next start, he'll probably win.
I think Robbie did there was a 1400 at Sandown next week he did speak about, but it just looks like a mile.
Yeah, so that might be more suitable a stage of his prep.
Yeah.
But I think by at some stage in this campaign, miles where he wants to be. Yeah.
Terrific. I travelled to Hamilton on Monday and we had a good result there with a double. I'm not too sure if you've seen the races, but Saab Plain won. Was a benchmark 58 high weight. That was probably D-Day for him if he didn't win it. He won it well, blinkers on. Won by 2.5. Pretty handy when you get a Group 1 flat rider like John Allen riding in the high weights. I think he was worth 2.5.
At least 2.5.
Yeah. So that was good. We had Artisano kick off. He's a 2,000 metre plus horse kicking off over 1,400. Ran fourth, come from last, so perfect for what we need going forward. He'll probably contest a mile race over the Swan Hill Carnival. And there's Dancy been giving me a heap now because I'm part owner in Silver Strata, and we went back to back, and he's showing the form that we always see. Admittedly, he probably should in those grades, but he come from well back and won well.
Apparently you took the right on, so you've done well in a benchmark race at Hamilton. He's a horse that we thought would be winning Saturday City grades races on a regular basis originally.
I thought the corporates were a bit smarter people. They threw up double figure odds.
They're not that smart. They're just mean. That's all.
It's helped us eat for another week anyway. My shiny choice, we were there at Geelong. He's back on track to win a race. He ran second. Again, he explained the way the
his previous run was at Pakenham here, and that was a couple of weeks ago. Inside was definitely the place to be. He finished up 8 wide in the turn, so just forget that run. We were positive on him the other day because you have to be up near the fence. So third, fourth, the rails. The winner was on the fence, so when we pulled off, it was harder to get around the winner or the leader because he was in the best part of the track. But I thought it was a very encouraging run. Similar race he should have at start.
Yep. And I think there's a couple of races either at Pakenham or Geelong, 13, 1400, 58 or 64.
Yeah, with synthetics, this week there's 3 synthetic meetings. There's normally 2, so the good thing about a lot of our horses, they do handle both surfaces. Synthetic and grass gives us plenty of options.
Yep, exactly. And Safety Dance, which we mentioned earlier, he was here out to 1600 from 1400, but the way the race unfolded, he never really got his chance.
No, just forget he went around, and I think he'd probably be a better place in the grass.
We'll cut it there. There's a race about to start. We'll come back and go through our half a dozen runners after this race here at Pakenham.
Secondly, Wasted in front. Exploitations for Walker. Loon takes the lead. That's 3 for Mickey Boy. Goes home and wins it a long head. Exploitation.
Oh, we're back. Well, I'm back. Unfortunately, the second part with Pete Ellis there at Pakenham, due to technical issues, the file seemed to be corrupted for some reason, and I couldn't get that part off, so I apologise there. Firstly, apologise for the noise. As I've got home, I realised the wind noise was bad in that first part, so it just seemed to be reasonably calm there where we did that first bit of vision.
Completely stuffed it up.
Unfortunately, it's a little bit loud, so I apologise for that, but
completely stuffed it up.
It's still audible and you can hear.
Completely stuffed it up.
Our summary for our horses from last week, and
completely stuffed it up.
It's an interesting bloke to listen to, and just his knowledge is vast in the racing game. And we did have a bit of a discussion about Shanti, where Tiberian runs on Sunday night, and just a few of his ventures around the world. And just hope I can get him back on. He was keen to sort of be part of ATB-TV from time to time, so we might be able to brush over some of his exploits overseas the next time we have him on.
Completely stuffed it up.
Just to finish off quickly, the runners coming up Sunday, we have 2 runners at Bendigo. Michelle Payne trained Lady McPhee is in a 1,000 metre race, 1,000 metre maiden, drawn horribly in barrier 19, which will come into 15 with the emergencies out. So no matter which way you look at it, she's going to have the outside gate, whether there's 4 scratchings or 10. She'll be ridden, having spoken to Michelle since the barriers come out, she's just going to, 2 options, either ride and have some cover, whether that be, 3 wide with cover sort of, probably in the second part of the field, or just ride her absolutely cold out the back and try and make runs through the field, a bit similar to Cranbourne. There is a good run from the chute at Bendigo, so there's only sort of one sort of sweeping bend. There's no real turn. So Michelle's just going to see over the next 24 hours with the weather. It's fine here now. The track's probably going to be in the slow range, which is going to suit the mare, but yeah, we've only got one race before us, so we won't get a real gauge there. So Michelle she'll probably have to make her mind up and say this is what she's going to do, try and execute it, and hopefully get a win. Astrological races in the race prior, in a 1300 metre fillies and mares race. She was pretty good last start at Cranbourne, where it was a heavy track. She just seemed to get bogged down the last 50 or 60 metres. She did rise in trip from the 12, I think it was, to 14, and a race more like a 1500 metre race, so that found her out. Stable's probably not 100% confident she can run a true 14 anyway, so we've found middle ground with the 1300 fillies and mares. Barrier 4, Harry Coffey, I think she gets her chance to win tomorrow, so for all you owners out there, fingers crossed. Be great. She's been consistent without getting there, and you all well and truly deserve to get a win out of her tomorrow. Sunday we have Serious Deal kicking off his career for Matt Kamani. Dean Holland rides in a maiden over 1200 metres, a 2-year-old by Done Deal out of our broodmare Serious Mrs. Older son, Serious Suspect, had a good campaign for us last prep. 4 starts for a win in town and a win at Kyneton, so hopefully the ability is coming through from Mum. Obviously Done Deal, we're probably looking at a staying type down the track, but he's done really well in his trials. This preparation has been faultless. Everything Matt Kamani's thrown at him, he's done well mannered. His trials have been good, from the Evoca trial to the trial out here at Ballarat. So Dean Holland's done most of the work on him. He'll ride on Sunday. He's always had a nice opinion of the horse, so it's exciting to see him at the track, especially as a 2-year-old. The race has got about 7 or 8 first starters, so really hard to get a gauge, but our bloke goes in good order. Obviously it's a new experience on race day, but we're hoping we see a nice run from Serious Deal. Exciting, always exciting to see these first starters get to the track. Sunday night we have Tiberian running second up at Chantilly in the Grand Prix de Chantilly. I wish I had Pete Ellis here. He was all over giving us a bit of a thoughts on Chantilly and the track and everything, and just French racing in general. I think I might have mentioned St. Cloud, or it's St. Cloud, so we got all the terminologies and the pronunciations of the tracks right with Pete. But yeah, Tiberian second up, he'll be a lot fitter. Stable very keen on his chances. 2400 metres, there's only 7 in the race. Walter Geist that won first in the race, we're in first up, is in the race. There's a couple of other Godolphin horses. Look, if the horse can find a couple of links and just gets a similar run, we're going to be right in it. Like I said, the stable are happy with the way he's trained on, so second stepping stone in this preparation, and we look forward to a really good run. Olivia Pallier is obviously on, the French jockey, and I've got a little face in the background there. I don't know what time the race is on. The TAB site on Sunday will have it. I think it's going to be around 11:30 to midnight, but if you want to have a look, just go to the race site on the day and you'll find it. Monday, no fields out as I sit here Friday morning. Tennessee Gold and Revolutionary have been entered for the same race at Wangaratta, so we wait to see there. Tennessee Gold was terrific, as we mentioned earlier, at Cranbourne. The big drop in grade should suit her. Revolutionary is at the other end of the spectrum. We're building him up to the 2000. He was okay at Werribee, but he's probably going to need another run at 2000 before we, or if we see any chance of winning over that trip. Tuesday, Geelong Synthetic, we won't have any there. Wednesday, we potentially have got 3 runners. Whitemore in the Taj Rossi series, which is a series for 2-year-olds over 1400 metres. Robbie indicated after the Geelong run that he could go there. Robbie's also got Mr. Moneybags in the Silver Bowl series, also over 1400. There's a series of those races that culminate in a final at Flemington over 1600 at the end of June. And from the Weir stable, Captain Harry is also in that same series. So those two potentially will race against each other on Wednesday. Obviously, Mr. Moneybags has shown that he's capable at good level in town, and Captain Harry gets his chance after strong wins at both Swan Hill and Ballarat, and then obviously we spoke about his second at Ballarat last weekend, so he gets his chance to have a crack at a city race. That covers it all, guys. Again, apologies, probably a little bit here, there and everywhere with ATB-TV this week. Unfortunate the bit that I'm doing now never come through yesterday, and also I apologise again for the windy edition of ATB-TV. The Offsider, the boss will be back next week, so we look forward to some really good results this week. We had a good week with another double on Monday at Hamilton, which brought our winners for May to 7, and it would have been at least that many placings. So good to see all the horses running well. It's great to see some money going back into the owners' pockets. Following on from the middle of next week, we roll into the Swan Hill 3-day carnival, and we look like having 5 or 6 runners up there. So if you've never been to Swan Hill and you want a couple of days away, it is a mini Warrnambool in terms of social. Well, as many as you want to make it, but it's a little bit more low-key, but just a great 3 days of racing, and the weather's generally a little bit better than Warrnambool, which is a plus. But yeah, we potentially could have half a dozen runners, so we'll know more by sort of Tuesday, Wednesday next week, and it'd be great to see people up there. I plan to go up for the 3 days and hopefully bring home some more winning DVDs. Okay, everyone, have a great weekend, and we look forward to chatting next week.